Our society is structured in a way that may seem contradictory and confusing on the surface, but there is an underlying logic to it all. What you see directly is often not the complete truth. There are hidden depths and nuances. Financial reports can be fudged, online data manipulated, even something as simple as a restaurant inflating their numbers. This complexity tests our ability to think critically and see beyond the facade. Those who can develop a strong, independent mindset to penetrate through the distractions and fakery will be positioned for success. However, those who remain blinded by appearances and illusions will inevitably be left behind, exploited by those with deeper discernment. The essence is that our senses construct a virtual reality that shields us from the genuine nature of the world. Only by training our minds can we pierce through the veil of superficial expressions to the true reality underneath. When we can instantly cut through deceptions to the core truth, that is when genuine insight arises. The ancient Chinese philosopher cautioned that the more you observe superficially, the more you become entranced by the outer facade, blinding you to the inner truth. We are all prone to being misled by shallow desires and impulses, ensnared in webs of delusion spun from our own runaway thoughts, like the blind leading the blind. But we each have an innate wisdom and perception that can be cultivated to develop true discernment. While the world may seem random and chaotic on one level, there are actually coherent programs and algorithms orchestrating everything we experience. Taoism scriptures speak of this ineffable source as the mother of all things, what I call the Eightfold Path. It is a domain of intense spiritual forging, like being smelted in a blast furnace, that allows one to extract the fundamental principles operating beneath the surface of all phenomena. This process of fathoming the truth is often grueling, as society is frequently hostile to those who delve too deeply into its inner workings. But mastering this art of discernment is truly liberating. When you can grasp the interplay between the overt expressions of things and their covert driving forces, you develop the ability to flow with circumstances in an optimal way. For example, our world is underpinned by two interwoven orders: the open moral codes and virtues we give lip service to, and the unspoken undercurrents of self-interest we actually pursue through our actions. The open force of publicly espoused ideals and the closed current of personal incentives are complementary and interdependent. There are some things that can only be done privately, while other things can only be voiced publicly. Those who try to live with perfect consistency between their words and deeds will inevitably come into conflict with the intrinsic duality structuring our experience. Every field and industry has its own internal logics and hidden rules of the game. True wisdom is being able to intuit these unspoken dynamics while outwardly maintaining ethical norms. As the saying goes, the mature person sees the truth, but does not give voice to it injudiciously. So in mastering this art, one must learn to speak with skillful indirection, implying the subterranean realities through carefully layered statements and hints. Correspondingly, one must listen with equal nuance, reading between the lines to decipher the oblique undertones and unexpressed agendas. To voice the unspeakable openly is to commit a grave social error that undermines one's effectiveness. At the same time, to be blind to these undercurrents is to naive risk being exploited and marginalized. The path is to maintain two complementary perspectives, understanding the unveiled public ideals while deftly navigating the veiled private currents. When you can shift fluidly between these two harmonized vantage points, piercing through obfuscations from multiple angles, you develop a penetrating sagacity. Through seeing the dynamic interplay between opposing forces one gains mastery. To illustrate, consider how we express love. By attuning ourselves to what our beloved needs and communicating in their preferred language, not just broadcasting our own perspective. Likewise, in debate, the skillful make their point by adopting their opponent's logic and working from within their framework. Those who rigidly force their personal truth on others, without regard for context and reception, are being obtuse and ineffective. The authentic truth must have both yin and yang components brought into dynamic synthesis, eschewing one-sidedness and integrating multiple perspectives. So the greatest human capacity is this ability to awaken to the hidden dimensions underlying surface reality. Call it enlightenment, insight, vision. It is the feeling of the clouds parting to reveal the blazing sun and a clarifying resonance reverberating through your being, illuminating all things in their true essence. This is the goal that all great spiritual masters and mystics of all paths point toward, guiding us into that state of awakened perception. But it requires years of disciplined training in the forge of life's challenges to temper our minds into keen instruments of discernment. Before we too can burn away our blind spots and delusions, to recognize the underlying patterns of existence and our role within it, we must undergo an apprenticeship of blood, sweat, and tears, wrestling with setbacks, loneliness, and ordeals. But the payoff is incomparable. Being able to cut through confusion to continually realign with the core truths, adjusting your trajectory with ease. You gain the priceless capacity of being able to objectively witness your own thoughts and actions from a transcendent perspective, gauging what needs course correction. In that clarity of self-awareness, you become truly self-authoring, free from outside cages of limitation, charting your own authentic life path. No longer tossed about by circumstances or other people's agendas, you reset your own thermostat to elevate to your highest potential. This process of penetrating discernment cultivates an unshakable inner freedom and buoyant creative confidence. Like the butterfly emerging from its chrysalis, you shed outmoded layers to reveal the radiant essence that was always present. With your newfound clarity, you approach each situation free from predetermined scripts, meeting it with fresh wonder. Integrating the outer and inner, the light and shadows, the yin and yang, you flow with life's unfolding from a space of profound groundedness and ease. Nothing catches you by surprise anymore, as you have mastered the art of seeing beneath surfaces to the core patterns. You have unlocked the ultimate human capacity for conscious evolution. I encourage you to treat life as a great initiation into these expanded ways of perceiving. Though the path is arduous, each challenge is an opportunity to refine your skills of discernment. Be a humble student, but also a trailblazer, blending timeless wisdom with your own unique creative expression. The long sought-after treasures of awakening are right here awaiting your arrival. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the depths of discernment. I hope these perspectives have sparked a fire within you to cultivate your own visionary abilities. The path will not be easy, but armed with diligent practice and an unwavering belief in your own potential, you possess everything needed to unveil life's deepest mysteries. Have faith that the same source of insight that illumined the way for awakened masters through the ages also flows through you. By committing wholeheartedly to this great work of polishing your consciousness, you will refine the extraordinary power to part the veils of illusion and create the life your spirit is calling you to manifest. The rewards of living with such clarity and creative freedom are beyond measure. Blessed journeys to you. Until next time.